Hey guys, welcome back. EA Fitness 10, bringing you guys a new video today. We are going to be discussing carb cycling. It is very easy to understand, and I think it can be implemented to anyone's nutrition for the better. As of late, I've been hearing things like, no, I don't eat carbs because I'm trying to lean down, I'm trying to get lean muscle, or the all-time famous quote, carbs make you fat. Right? We've all heard that one, but I think that's not true. As I mentioned before in my previous Nutrition 101 video, carbs are our most efficient source of fuel. We eat carbohydrates and they are broken down to simple sugars to produce ATP, right? That is our fuel. That is what we use for energy. So I think the big problem is that we don't realize it, but we are over consuming in carbohydrates. Just about every single meal that we eat has carbohydrates. And that's why we see that these carbs that are bad for us are having these negative effects because we are overindulging. It is a huge problem in the food industry. It is full of saturated fats, full of oils, and other unnecessary things that our body doesn't need. And then we just go and blame it on carbohydrates. So, I'm gonna tell you guys about carb cycling, which is a very easy tool to use, and I think if you implement this into your nutrition, it will help you in the long run for not getting fat off carbs. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so very simply, the amount of carb intake that we have throughout the whole week will not be the same, right? So there are 7 days in a week. Now, the way carb cycling works is that one day out of the week, we get a high carbohydrate intake. That means maybe for breakfast, I will eat some oatmeal with my eggs or whatever. Maybe for lunch, I will have a little pasta with a salad or something like that. And maybe for dinner, I have some sweet potato. Now, this high carbohydrate intake day should be done on a day where you have a really intense exercise day. For example, leg day. We all know that leg day is the day where our body needs the most nutrients and energy in because it is the most anabolic. So that should definitely be an option for your high carb intake day, okay? Okay, that's one day of the week. Now, 3 of the other days of the week, you are taking moderate carbohydrates. This should be done on a day where maybe it's not as intense as leg day, but it's still a pretty tough day and you're still pretty active throughout the day because your body will still need energy, right? So maybe it's chest and triceps day at the gym for you and you're going on a walk later in the evening. Maybe that's the kind of day you just want to have moderate carbs. So maybe you still have that oatmeal and you're eating fruits throughout the day, but maybe for lunch and dinner, you're skipping on that pasta and you're skipping on those sweet potatoes, right? So, okay, so we've covered 1 day is high carb intake, 3 days are moderate, so what's left? 3 days of low carbohydrate intake, okay? So maybe this is on my Tuesday where I go and do my TRX workouts. It's 30 minutes, it's relatively intense, but it's a very short amount of time and it's very quick and straightforward, so I'm not exerting so much energy for a prolonged period of time. And maybe on Tuesdays, I don't do very much else after my TRX. Maybe I'm still just going out for a walk later in the evening. So on this kind of day, I just want to have a low carb intake. So my breakfast, I'm not gonna have many carbs, just protein stuff. Maybe I'll have a fruit as a snack sometime during the day. For lunch, I'm definitely not having carbs. Maybe I'm having another fruit sometime during the day. But for dinner, no carb again, right? Low carb, this way my energy is just not building up that energy that is not even gonna use for that day, right? Okay, so 1 day is high, 3 days are moderate, 3 days are low. And what you really need to be on the lookout for is what it is that you're eating, right? Maybe you're eating some sort of snack that you don't notice it, But if you look in the nutrition pack, out of nowhere it has 27 grams of carbohydrates. Well, that's awful. Maybe you don't need to be eating that snack. But now you know that with this kind of scheme, you can plan out what days you're gonna be doing something more intense, something more moderate, and maybe on weekends, you're just not doing very much and you're just relaxing and taking a walk. So maybe that's your low carb day, right? But the key takeaway is that if you cycle your carbohydrates and you don't overindulge, you will not have a reason to blame carbohydrates for gaining weight, because carbohydrates give us energy. And it is a myth that we need to get rid of. Carbohydrates are good for us. They help us with our energy. Okay guys, so that was carb cycling for you guys. If you guys want to get in touch with me, I will leave some information down below. If there's something you want to see, leave a comment down there what you would like to see me write out in here, maybe demonstrate, whatever you guys want. If you guys want to get a personal training session, I will leave information down below, as well as the gear that I use in the gym to keep myself efficient and motivated to train hard. Alright guys, so that's it for me today. You guys have a nice one. Thanks.